Hello, great to have you on. So
My pleasure.
to start with, Milano Prime is the sole manager of the business and general aviation infrastructure at both Milan Linate and Malpensa airports in Italy. I
Yeah.
understand you have remained open 24/7 at Malpensa airports and are currently operational for emergency and medical flights at Linate. Can you just tell me a bit more about what a typical day currently looks like for Milano Prime at both locations?
Operations are ongoing, so obviously they do look different than the pre-pandemic crisis. But we've been implementing what we call the 4Ds, so distancing, disinfection, devices, and digitalization. So we've been implementing very strict protocols for social distancing, both from operators, passengers, and employees. We've been sanitizing spaces, common surfaces, and lounges, equipment, and cars, follow me's, anything that's been used by personnel. Devices have been provided to our employees and staff and are required to be worn by everybody who is in the FBO, so with gloves and masks. And digitalization is also an important piece of work. People who can work from home are required to do smart working. So the typical day from an operational perspective, we have people who are strictly necessary to be in the FBO present, of course, to manage traffic, but those who can work from home, we have several conference calls starting from the morning, in fact video conferences, to set up the strategy, the requirements for the day, and how traffic is gonna be managed.
Okay. And is there anything you're doing in particular to support the local community living in and around both Malpensa and Linate airports?
Well, as a group, we think our main job is to get traffic going. So our role is very important nowadays in allowing medical equipment, physicians and doctors and coming from other countries who have come to help the Italian hospital, which thank God now are getting better in terms of filling in. I mean the pandemic, especially in Lombardy, has reached a downward curve. We have the cargo operation working, of course, in commercial aviation, which are very important to provide general supply and goods. So our airports are very geared up to allow all the allowable traffic there. We also manage rescue flights for both commercial and general aviation for Italian residents who've been stuck abroad, and there were quite a few, to be able to come back to their home country. Students studying abroad in the UK also, when school closed, they have to come back to their family. So our job now is to be present there and operational for this type of traffic.
There's no question that we're currently experiencing the worst crisis in the aviation industry.
Yeah.
But what are your concerns for the industry overall, and do you think it's fair to say that the business aviation sector will be the quickest to recover from this crisis?
General aviation is a bit more resilient now, and I think it could be the one to recover first, because our operators do not have the load factor issues, which is very sensitive for low cost and legacy carriers. So there are fewer people flying in an aircraft, so social distancing can be kept. They're already implementing all the measures or recommendations rather from EASA on aircraft, and FBOs are structured in a way that we really can keep social distancing and minimizing contact more than in a commercial terminal.
And what are your plans long term post COVID-19? How will you look to achieve those goals?
Yeah, I know we came up from a very, very good 2019, and we had more than 24,500 movements. Milano was really booming in terms of destination, and we do think that eventually we will come back. So long term, we do not see a big change in our strategy, which was based on developing infrastructure, especially in Linate Airport with hangars. Of course, I also think that we learned the lessons out of COVID-19. I think some of the measures which are being implemented now will be kept in order to provide even more safe and health travel for our passengers and crews and employees.
Right. Okay. And finally, on a personal level, Chiara, what are you most looking forward to when the rebound comes? What have you missed? Where will you travel tomorrow, and what aircraft?
on a personal basis, I do hope I'll be able to go to the seaside this summer with my 2 kids, hopefully in Sardinia, hopefully by plane.
Okay. Any particular aircraft, any preferred aircraft that you would, if you could choose any?
I'm happy with commercial aviation, any aircraft, provided they take me to the seaside in Sardinia with my kids.
Perfect. Okay, Chiara Dorigotti, CEO of Milano Prime, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you, Chloe. Thank you.